All right, everyone, welcome to week one of our four-part series, Getting Social with Your Media, with our special guest, Kim Schott. We'll introduce her here in just a few moments, but I want to do a couple of housekeeping things before we get moving here. First of all, I want everybody to know that Kim is willing and able to help answer all your questions, whatever we can't get to here on the webinar itself in the next hour. She will gladly answer, her or her staff will answer them for you. However, to make that possible, we need all questions asked in the questions box of your GoToMeeting taskbar there. If you want any questions asked, ask it at any time, and we will save them for a question and answer period at the end. And any we don't verbally answer here on the session will be answered via email from Kim herself or her staff after the session at some date in the future, probably pretty quick, just knowing Kim and how professional she is. But remember, you must use that questions box so they can be logged and tracked. If you have any questions, like I said, send them at any time. Be glad to have you ask them and have them in queue for the end, and I'll read them off to her and we'll get her responses for it. Again, have those questions ready. So we're going to start with a poll. I want to know from you, do you have a Facebook page? So if you can answer our quick question here, where do you fall in this category? Does your center have a Facebook page? Which of these 5 answers is best describes your bowling center? Come on now. I only got about half of you voting. We got a lot of people on this thing. Wake up, pay attention. You can do this. I know you got it in you. Just a few more. We got most of you there. What's this? Got somebody responded that they kind of don't fall into a category. Yeah, I can see your response there, Cynthia. Just pick number 1. Pick the best. Pick the best one. If you let's do this. If you have a teenager doing it, or if you're doing it yourself, pick that one, because I see a couple of people saying that they're there. All right, we got almost 90% response. All righty, so I'm going to close this and let you guys see where y'all fall. And I'm happy to say that everyone here doesn't think that Facebook is a fad, and nobody doesn't know what Facebook is. If we had this poll a couple of years ago, we probably would have had 25% down there. All righty. And you're right, I didn't actually make it broad enough that, hey, I take care of it myself kind of a thing. I myself would have clicked the first one. Yes, I'm active, but I have no clue what I'm doing with that thing. Even though I'm pretty active, I still get pretty scared with that stuff. So let's get that out of here. So I'm going to turn this over to Kim here. Kim, I'm going to give you while this is transferring over, I'm just going to give you a little bit of an introduction. Kim is with Schott Consulting. She has her own company, a cultural consulting, sorry, and we found her, thank you, Ken Prokopek from Michigan. Those Michiganders, boy, there's some smart people out there, with the exception of they don't necessarily know how to move away from the snow. That's a lot of snow up there. I don't know. I don't know why you guys just masochists, I think. That's just a personal opinion. Ken brought Kim to the state show in Michigan. I was so enthralled. I had to give my presentation next, and I said, okay, I'm going to stay for 5 more minutes. Oh, I got to stay for 5 more minutes. And I thought I was going to be late for my own presentation because I couldn't leave the room. She had me just locked in on what she was presenting. And then we brought her into Summit last year, and again, she just knocked the socks off everyone. So we've been continually talking and trying to get Kim back and how we can bring her out to the members in a more mass scale. And this came up, this opportunity for us to bring Kim to you in webinars. So we're glad to have her. Kim, I'll let you give a little bit of background on what makes you qualified to be presenting this. And I'm going to turn it over to you and be quiet until we get to the question section here at the end. It's all yours. Thank you again, Kim.
Oh,
welcome.
Thank you so much, Kelly, for that warm introduction. And before we begin, Kelly, can you see my screen right now?
I can, and I also can see your taskbar at the bottom. So if you can go to your clean screen there, just select clean, and those will go away.
All right, let me see if I can do that. One moment.
Dun,
How about that?
All righty.
Perfect. Welcome, everyone, to today's webinar. As Kelly mentioned, my name is Kim Schott. I'm the president and founder of a digital marketing firm here in southeastern Michigan. My team and I service clients all over the globe, and what we've been known most for is the family leisure and family recreation industry. So we have clients who are in the resort industry, bowling centers, family entertainment centers, even family services. And for those clients that have struggled with learning how to best build their email list, learning how to collect names and email addresses from their social media presence, we have put together a presentation, really 60 ways that they and their staff can collect additional information on their customers or their soon-to-be customers so that they can constantly keep in touch. And if you're in that position where you're just not sure how to grow your email list, or maybe you've been struggling to give your staff some additional guidance on ways they can collect information about the open bowlers or guests, or people who are interested in hosting a not-for-profit event at your center, well, you're in the right place, because we're going to give you 60 different ways to do that. And so with that being said, let's begin with the very first way of going over how to grow your list, which is to simply have a sign-up sheet. I always tell business owners that you can keep this very simple by having a piece of paper, a simple sign-up sheet at your cash register, at your registration area, so that people can join your email list. But be crystal clear on that sign-up sheet of paper by letting them know what they're signing up for. Let them know that that sign-up sheet of paper could be for coupons, offers, incentives, or maybe birthday promotions. Whatever it is, it's important for you to be crystal clear on that very simple sheet of paper of what people are signing up for. And don't hesitate to train your staff to always ask customers for their email address and their name and phone number, if that makes sense. But in this situation, make sure your staff realizes that your customers are interested in offers, incentives, discounts, happy hour promotions, or even birthday promotions from you. And the best way to keep in contact with them is their email address. But it's hard to stay in contact with someone who may not have their current email address up to date in your database. So that's why it's important for you to train yourself and your staff to always ask your customers for their current email address. And check your database. Many of my clients have discovered that they've got databases of email addresses all over the place. They've got email addresses in their Hotmail account, in their Gmail account, in their Yahoo account. They have email addresses in a couple third-party vendor accounts or in their software. But more importantly, I would like you to consider looking through your database and make sure that you have the most current contact information for your customers available. Don't forget to ask your friends and family. Don't overlook your personal network of your friends, your families, and your colleagues to sign up for your offers, your incentives, and your promotions at your bowling center. Always have your family and your friends and your colleagues Even take a look at what some of the offers that you have going on and get their feedback. Really listen to what it is that they have to say about what you're sharing with the public. Hey, have you ever thought of hosting a raffle or an easier way for you to collect some information on your business customers? Then put a fishbowl on your counter and give customers an incentive to drop those business cards in your list. Now, I realize that there are some bowling centers out there in states that that are not allowed to have raffles, and I can appreciate that. But there are other ways to collect cards, business cards from your customers, as long as the incentive is right. How about over the phone? Are you having a great customer conversation? Is someone asking you for your hours of operation, your address, or your location? If that's the case, then train the person who's been answering your phone and giving your customers that quality information a way to collect the email address from the customer that's calling. And your employee can always instruct that customer that the information of hours of operation, location, and other additional information can be found in your monthly newsletter. And the best way to sign up for the monthly newsletter is to collect their email addresses. How about a sidewalk sign or a poster in your window? Many of you who use Constant Contact may not be aware that the Constant Contact has a tool, a sign-up tool, right within its software called Text to Join. And many of my family entertainment centers and my family bowling centers will have signs either on their sidewalk or in their window that would let people know that if they text a keyword, such as the bowling center's name, if they text a keyword using the Constant Contact software, the Constant Contact software will immediately email them an offer, an incentive, or a promotion. And so this is called a text to join feature. It's especially important if you have a lot of foot traffic going past your center or past your front window. How about Small Business Saturday? Many of my bowling center clients sold bowling center gift certificates for Small Business Saturday. And Small Business Saturday is celebrated in many cities across the U.S. The next Small Business Saturday is November the 26th of 2016. If you haven't considered having an incentive or selling gift certificates for this special day, you may want to consider reaching back out to the BPAA and get some other ideas that you can do to participate in this small business celebration that's going on citywide. Another thing that you can do, if for many of you who answered yes, that you had a Facebook page, have that teenage staff member plug the Constant Contact software in directly to your Facebook page. You see, your Facebook page should be more than just an environment where you post information. You should also have the ability to collect email addresses and first and last names of your Facebook fans. And one of the quickest ways to do that is to add the Facebook application right from Constant Contact to your Facebook page. For those of you who use Constant Contact, all you need to do is go inside your Constant Contact software and search for the Facebook application. And you can immediately start collecting email addresses and names right from your Facebook page. How about Twitter? A handful of you out there might consider using a Twitter account or a Twitter business page for your bowling center. In some of my live seminars, I've explained to participants how important it is to have a Twitter page if you want to connect with those who are either in the newspaper editor, newspaper reporters in your community, because newspaper editors and newspaper reporters are always looking for citywide trends. So one of the first places they look is on Twitter. And so if while you're tweeting events about your bowling center, while you're tweeting offers, incentives, or promotions about your bowling center on Twitter, You should also use a form of communication called the hashtag and include your city in that. And both Kellyanne and I will be talking about social media in much greater length in a future webinar that we have hosted. So if you're not used to using Twitter, if you're not familiar with what hashtags are, don't worry. We're going to go into that in a greater detail at a future webinar. But in the meantime, make sure you write yourself a note to at least tweet about your email list once a week from Twitter. And you can start collecting email addresses and first names right from your Twitter account. Hey, what about your Facebook cover page? Did you know that you can add text to your Facebook cover page? All you need to do is just make it fun and let people know that they can join your email list by looking for the application below, right from your Facebook page. And again, for many of you who have a Facebook page, you should be collecting first names and email addresses from your Facebook fans. And Constant Contact allows you the ability to easily do that. So why not use your Facebook cover page to explain to people that they can get great incentives, great offers, and great discounts by simply joining your list below. How about a Facebook ad? For many of you, you are posting on Facebook, but you've never considered purchasing an ad. And a Facebook ad will assist you in growing your list exponentially. You're going to have a chance to add new fans and new subscribers to your email list by simply purchasing a Facebook ad in order to grow your list. How about your YouTube channel? There's a handful of my Family Entertainment Center and Family Leisure clients that have YouTube videos of different tricks, different bowling leagues, and right from their YouTube channel, they ask people to sign up for their video list on all other bowling tricks. And if you have the Constant Contact software, you can just simply plug the software into your YouTube channel and start collecting email addresses and first names right from YouTube for everyone who subscribes to your video list. How about Foursquare or Yelp? Or for those of you who have restaurants, Urban Spoon. You can collect email addresses and first names from some of these location-based social media websites. All you need to do is just link your sign-up form to Yelp or Foursquare or Urban Spoon, even Angie's List for that matter. There are many ways you can use the Constant Contact software with these location-based social media websites in order to grow your list. How about a LinkedIn group? I have found that there's a handful of my bowling centers and family leisure centers that will set up recreation groups on LinkedIn. And as members join that group, they also ask people to sign up for their email list so that they get updates from the recreation group. And again, all you need to do is plug your Constant Contact software into your LinkedIn group. How about a Google Plus community? There's another way to increase your email list. LinkedIn groups, Google Plus communities, Google Plus users, they all are looking for additional information about quality family leisure activities. They're looking for different ways to improve the quality of their family's life. And the best way for them to stay in touch with you is to share their personal information, such as their email address. Well, give them an easy way to do that by plugging the software in from Constant Contact into Google+. How about a tweet chat? If your customers happen to be between the ages of 20 and 35 years of age, there's a great way for you to talk about the bowling and the leagues that are going on by just simply hosting a tweet chat. And those members who want to be part of the tweet chat, in order for them to stay in touch with you, you can simply ask them to share their email address and their first name with you by connecting the Constant Contact software to the tweet chat software. And again, if you've never hosted a tweet chat, and have no idea what it is, we're going to be going into that in greater detail in a future webinar. How about Vine? If you are having teenage employees update your Facebook page, then they definitely, these same teenage employees, know exactly what Vine is. Vine is a way for you to have your customers, your bowling leagues, sign up and create a 6-second video of themselves. The younger generation love Vine because they love to post videos about some of the neat ways that they're enjoying themselves at your bowling center. And if people are signing up for these 6-second videos at your Vine business page for your bowling center, you might as well ask them to also share their email address and their first name with you so that you can keep them posted when other offers, incentives, discounts, or other Vine videos become available. And again, if you're not familiar with Vine, we're going to talk about the 6-second Vine video feature in a future webinar. How about synchronizing your sign-up link with your social profile? Allow the staff members at your centers to easily connect their social profiles with your business page. You may even ask them to link your Constant Contact email subscription list right from their profile. You can have that sign-up form linked directly to your Facebook profile page, your Twitter profile page, your LinkedIn profile page, your Pinterest profile, and your Google Plus profile. And at this point, I want to make it very clear that there is a distinction here between business pages and personal social profiles. We're going to talk about that in a little bit more in a webinar. But anyone on the line that has a personal social media profile can also use the Constant Contact software to grow your business email list. And this is a great example of Cassidy here, who owns Boloco. And Boloco is a chain of restaurants out of New England. You're looking at Cassidy's personal Facebook page, and he's simply directing you to his business website as well as the other owners on Twitter. How about Pinterest? Those of you who are considering Pinterest, you can create a board, a business board on Pinterest for your email newsletter or your bowling center. And you can use an image from your email or even take a screenshot of your entire newsletter and put it right on Pinterest so that your Pinterest followers can also sign up for your Constant Contact email newsletter or your Constant Contact coupons, offers, incentives, or promotions. So again, Pinterest is a way for you to grow your email list. How about your website? Many of you who are using a website to promote your bowling center should also have your Constant Contact email list form right on your website so that folks can get additional offers, additional incentives and promotions right from your website's page. Just gives them a way for them to stay in contact with you. And always sit down with your staff and create a reasons page, or reasons to sign up. You may even want to ask some of your most current customers what they enjoy the most about your emails. Ask your current customers what they enjoy the most about your offers and your incentives and promotions. And create a page on your website that highlights some of the biggest benefits of signing up for those offers, incentives, and promotions. Because I want to point out that people do not like to sign up using their email address for a list. But if you're crystal clear and you tell them that they're signing up for an offer, an incentive, or a promotion, or even a birthday club for that matter, then they will share their email address and their first name with you. So this is why you want to create a reasons to sign up page. Be clear. What is it that they're signing up for? Because people hate to sign up for lists, but they love to sign up for offers, incentives, and promotions. Hey, keep your sign-up form short. I tell people that when you're using the Constant Contact sign-up form software on Facebook, when you're using that Constant Contact software on Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, Pinterest, or your website, or even your personal profile, you really should keep those forms very short by only asking for their first name and their email address. And that's it. Because people just do not like to sign up, or they don't like to complete long forms. Hey, how about those of you on the line that blog about the bowling industry? Why not add your sign-up form to your personal blog? And for those of you who love to write as a guest blogger, you can also ask that blog owner if they would mind adding your email sign-up form to their blog. Again, writing for other blogs is also a great way for you to get in front of a new audience, and include a link to that sign-up form through your bio. If people like your post, they're going to want to get more information from you. Don't forget to comment on blog posts. If you're participating in conversations about your area of expertise, or having your staff comment on their favorite blog, don't forget to let people know about your website, and that they can also sign up for your email list that includes offers, incentives, and promotions. You always want to test different calls to action. As I mentioned before, people do not like to send or give you their email address to join a list. But they will join an email list using their email address if they are getting an offer, a discount, or another type of incentive, or even a birthday club for that matter. And so what you see on the screen right now are different ways to ask for people to share their personal information from you, such as their first name or their email address. And the reason why having different calls to action is important, because on average, a family leisure center or a bowling center loses between 3 to 15% of their email address each and every month. That means that 3% to 15% of their email addresses become completely undeliverable each and every month. And why is it that those email addresses become deliverable? Well, for one thing, your customers may have gotten their email address hacked, and because their email address was hacked, they shut their email address down and never bothered to call your bowling center to let you know that they have a new email address. And what about your customers that recently got married? They may not be using that old email address anymore. Instead, they changed the name on their email address and they have a new account now. How about your customers that switched jobs recently? Their old email address at their old place of employment no longer works, and they may have a new email address to share with you. Either way, your job is to not only get at least 3% to 15% of those email addresses to grow your list. You should really be doubling that. So each and every month, your goal and your staff's goal is to increase your email list either by 6% or 30%, because you're going to be losing between 3% to 15% of your emails to becoming undeliverable because people change their name on their email address, or they close out their email address because they got hacked. Always optimize your online listings. I would say that 49% of small businesses have never updated their online listings. Your listing should always be kept up to date and always provide a list or a link to join your email list. And keep in mind that when you're providing visitors an opportunity to join your email list, be very specific as to what type of list they're joining, because people hate to sign up for email lists, but they love to sign up for offers, incentives, and promotions. How about those of you who are serving the college bowling community? College bowlers love podcasts. And if you mention your email newsletter during a podcast that you might be sponsoring for your local university bowling team, make sure you give them an easy way to subscribe to your Bowling Hints and Tips newsletter. There's a lot of different ways for you to use your ability to use Constant Contact. You can plug your Constant Contact sign-up form into the podcast website so that your college-age customers can not only download a podcast for the local university bowling team, but they can also sign up for your email list simultaneously. So consider hosting a podcast for your local university customers. How about an online survey? Have you ever thought of adding a sign-up link to your next online survey? And there's lots of different online survey software tools out there. There's SurveyMonkey. There's survey tools with Constant Contact. But let people share their feedback with you and join your email list for offers, incentives, and discounts simultaneously. Those of you who have archived your email newsletters or you have archived your videos that you've emailed out from different bowling leagues or different tricks, different tips, you can use your email archive to promote your past emails. And you can share that archive on your blog, your website, and your social media presence. But let folks know that the best way for them to get access to your archive is to share their first name and email address with you. Now, why not put a sign-up link on your newsletter? Well, you see, you never know how many people are going to actually find your emails. And when new readers find them, make sure they have an easy way to sign up for your future newsletters. Make sure your customers have an easy way to sign up for your future offers, incentives, and discounts. Every time you send it out, just add a link to it. Don't forget to add your social share buttons to every single one of your Constant Contact emails. Really, sometimes the best way to grow your email list is just to simply extend the reach of your emails using social share buttons. And those social share buttons are given to you for free in your Constant Contact software. How about forward to a friend? Make sure you add that forward to a friend button to all of your emails that have an offer, an incentive, or promotion, so that you can even reach new subscribers. And always keep in mind that if you want people to forward your emails more often, make sure you're creating an offer, an incentive, or a promotion, or even a birthday club announcement that is share-worthy. How about your email signature? Many of you are using Yahoo Mail or Gmail or Outlook Mail. And Constant Contact has a piece of its software that plugs right into your email signature, so that when people get emails from you, you also give them an opportunity to sign up for your email list that includes future offers, incentives, and promotions. So this would just simply be an additional exposure that you can add to your regular emails. How about PicMonkey? Well, if you've never used PicMonkey, it's a free software out there that allows you to put text over images, such as your Facebook cover photo. PicMonkey is software, and it's just spelled P-I-C-M-O-N-K-E-Y. You can put text over your Twitter cover photo, and you can even hang them on your store, or I mean around your pro shop or around your bowling center. But either way, let them know through the text that you use that they can join a mailing list for exclusive offers, incentives, and promotions. Did you realize that you can actually grow your email list from your smartphone or your tablet? Constant Contact has several apps that you can get from your app store and enter new emails on the go. There are many family recreation centers and family bowling centers that simply have a tablet up near their cash register so that new customers, while waiting in line, whether that is waiting in line for snacks, waiting in line for shoes, can make sure that the bowling center or the recreation center has the most current email addresses on hand. And here's the text to join feature. Since more than half of Americans now have smartphones, most of them have no problem using the text feature of those smartphones. And that's why it's important for you to consider putting signs around your family recreation center or your bowling center, letting your customers know that they can text a keyword that is issued to you from Constant Contact so that they can get future offers, incentives, discounts, or promotions from your bowling center. How about a QR code? There are many of my family recreation centers and bowling centers that have restaurants, and they put the QR code right on a tabletop or a restaurant flyer, a restaurant poster, letting people to easily scan to join your email list for other happy hour discounts, other restaurant meal incentives or promotions. And here's an example of an iPad. Constant Contact has an iPad application that allows people to join your email list right from a tablet or an iPad. That's why a few of my family recreation centers, instead of having a piece of paper available at the cash register, they simply have an iPad up there now, letting people enter their current email address while they're waiting for their shoes, their snacks, their refreshments. And this is just another way, as the owner, this is just another way that your staff can help grow that list. Do you have a brochure about an upcoming birthday or your birthday club? Do you have any type of flyers that explains how a not-for-profit may be able to rent your facility for a not-for-profit gala event or a fundraiser event? If you do have brochures that you could give to a not-for-profit organization on how to rent your facility for a fundraising event, why not let people know how to sign up for your email newsletter list, letting not-for-profit agencies stay in touch with you and find out different ways to use your facility for citywide fundraising events. You can even run an ad in the paper. To get the most out of your printing advertising, you should tell people to visit your website to join your email list. So you just don't want to simply put an ad in the paper, but you also want to collect email addresses and first name from that readership. So why not just simply let people know that they can visit your website and join your email list for other offers, incentives, and promotions as it relates to your bowling center. Do you have business cards at your center? Make sure you have a QR code or at least a call to action on those business cards on how people can join your email list. If you have a restaurant in your center, again, you can even add that QR code to your menu and let people join your email list right from their table as they're waiting for their food. Do you have a pro shop where you ship? Why not put a QR code or some information on that shipping box to encourage customers to sign up for other offers, incentives, and promotions from your pro shop? Do you have not-for-profit events that are held at your center? Well, you know, during that event registration, you can stay in touch before, during, and even after the event by collecting email addresses from the people who register for that event. And if you're not familiar with event marketing software such as EventSpot from Constant Contact, then we'll be talking about that type of software in a future webinar. You can even collect email addresses at your event. If you have people that are there attending a not-for-profit gala event at your center, you can collect email addresses with either a paper sign-up sheet a QR code, or even a text-to-join message. Are you working with other businesses and organizations in your community to host an event at your bowling center or your family recreation center? Well, you know, it's a great way to increase your visibility in your business community by sponsoring an event using your center. But if you are sponsoring an event, make sure you tell people to join up for a list that allows you to share with them how to best rent your facility for retirement parties. Let people know that you've got an email list that they can sign up for on how to rent your facility for birthday parties, for not-for-profit parties, for fundraising parties, whatever it may be. If you're sponsoring something in your community, let people know that they can sign up for a list to get more information from you. Do you have someone in your facility that can teach people, that can give community classes on bowling? Then if you have people who are interested in learning more about how to bowl better, then let people know that they can get other tips and tricks and even bowling videos by signing up for a list and collect their first name and email address for that list. Again, here's another example of table tents. Table tents don't have to just be in your restaurant area. You can have table tents in other areas of your bowling center or your family recreation center. But you just want to make it easy for people to join your email list so that they can receive other offers, incentives, or promotions about some of your future events. Now, I realize that many of you on the phone can run a raffle, but some of you can't. If you can raffle off a prize that your customers would love, make sure you're collecting email addresses in the process, because as I mentioned, on average, you're going to lose about 3%, but as high as 15% of your email addresses, because they'll become undeliverable each and every month. So between 3% to 15% of those email addresses become undeliverable each and every month in your Constant Contact software. Facebook offers a software called Facebook Sweepstakes. And if you're not familiar with how to run a Facebook Sweepstakes campaign, don't worry, we're going to talk about that in a future webinar. And if you can run a Facebook Sweepstakes, then make sure you make it mandatory for people to share with you their first name and email address to be part of the sweepstakes process. Do you have a loyalty program? Well, then look for ways to reward your customers and grow your email list in the process. Let people know that you have loyalty cards available, but they need to share their first name and email address with you. How about a birthday club? Again, if you have a birthday club, a fundraising club, make sure you let people know that you can sign up, or they can sign up for an email list to get more information about that. And for those of you who are already using Constant Contact, new this year, Constant Contact made an improvement to its software that allows you to send birthday emails to your customers. All you need to do is plug in their birth date right into the Constant Contact software, pick a Constant Contact email template that your customer would love, and Constant Contact does the rest. And in that email, that birthday email, you can, of course, tack on an offer, an incentive, a gift, or a promotion, letting that customer know that you care about them and that you want to wish them a happy birthday. How about a local deal, such as Groupon? You know, if you want to have deal buyers come back, think about collecting their email address and their phone number when they come in and they're using Groupon deals at your family recreation center or their bowling center. How about when someone redeems an offer? Maybe you have a coupon in a local newspaper. Well, you know, just simply asking people to bring in a coupon and redeem it really isn't enough. Train your staff to ask new customers to join your email list whenever they redeem an offer with you, whether they're redeeming an offer up at the front desk or redeeming an offer in your restaurant area. Train your staff to ask for first name and email address from your customers. Did you know you could offer a coupon on Facebook? You sure can, but make sure it's required that in order for people to download that coupon, they need to provide their email address and first name so that you can continue to stay in touch with them. There are many family entertainment centers and bowling centers that will put a PDF document on LinkedIn that explains how business professionals can rent their bowling center, their laser tag center, or their family entertainment center for team building purposes or corporate parties. And if that's the case, if you do have a bowling center or a family recreation center that corporations can rent for bowling, laser tag, for arcade, or any other type of family leisure activities, why not put an application or a brochure on your LinkedIn page, but entice them to also share their email address with you? So make sure the application that you put on LinkedIn collects the first name and email address of that HR, that human resources professional, or that business owner or supervisor who's trying to coordinate their next Christmas or holiday party for their staff. And finally, why not offer an incentive to your employees? Really get your employees excited about growing your email list by offering a prize to your employee who collects the most valid email addresses. And what's great about Constant Contact is Constant Contact will actually take a peek at the email addresses that your employees collect and tell you which ones of those email addresses are valid and which ones are not. So the employee who collects the most valid email addresses, maybe you can give them an additional vacation day, a paid day off, or a gift card, something that's special, and it's something that would mean the most to that employee. But either way, just offer an incentive to your employees to start collecting valid email addresses. So with that being said, the BPAA today is offering a 10% discount off Constant Contact's email marketing, social media marketing, and event marketing and survey marketing tools. And so you get 10% off for your first 6 months. And these are for participants who are currently not using Constant Contact. For those of you who are already a Constant Contact customer and you would like the Constant Contact design team to customize and design a brand new mobile-friendly email template for you, they can do that. It is a discount as well. But this offer ends on February the 30th. So with that being said, Kelly, I'm going to let you start looking at some of the questions that we have, and go ahead and read those questions to me. And how about you and I work together, Kelly, to answer them?
Certainly, certainly. The first question is, so your ending is on February 30th. The next February 30th that happens is when this offer ends. Is that correct?
February, thank you so much.
so
That's, yeah, we're going to have to change that date, aren't we?
So I was just making sure.
Thank you, Kelly.
So, yeah, see, February 29th would have been
yeah.
fun. Yes, it could have been absolutely fun. Yes. It never ends.
Definitely.
It never ends.
How about we do the 29th and we'll call it a day. But thank you.
Certainly. Let me get you a couple questions that came in here. This is a little more drilled down, and since we got a couple minutes, they're about things that you did do. You did talk about the slide 28 talked about a guest blog, but what about a blog? Should the bowling center have a blog? Is this an individual? Is it the owner's blog? Is it the building's blog? And is it a value to have a blog? And how often should you blog?
Thank you. Those are great questions. A few of my bowling centers have pro staff on hand to train, families or some of their leagues in different bowling techniques, and that trainer will have a blog available. And in that blog, on a monthly basis, in very few words, they'll explain the bowling tip or the bowling trick for the month, and then include a video so that they can actually see it.
Great, great. That was the kind of the question. How should they do it? Again, we're starting to get in a little minutia here. Some of the actual metrics that we're doing. You're just throwing out ideas there. So I just wanted to get that one there. And the next one was from Brian in North Carolina. Says, should I place the same things on all the different platforms? So you talk about Facebook and Instagram and all of that. So do you just blast it across all the different platforms?
Yes, Brian, and that's more of a search engine optimization than it is a constant question. Offline, Brian, if you want to connect with me at your convenience, and I can tell you why, the search engines crawl across all the networks to make sure that they can see consistency in your information and how that helps you in your search engine ranking, then by all means contact me. But just to answer you quickly, Brian, you do want to have consistent information across all networks because it does impact your search engine optimization on Google and Bing significantly.
And here's a question from one of our social media committee members, because we've had this conversation in our committee meetings about Periscope. Is there a value to Periscope? Does Periscope have a way of grabbing their the names and registrations and things like that? It's kind of a newer product. Are they tied in yet?
Thank you for asking that question. Periscope, as long as you're sharing it on Twitter, it's actually the Twitter, your Twitter account that you're going to be asking for email address and first name. So as you're sharing your Periscope videos on Twitter, make sure you append to that Periscope video information on Twitter on how to sign up for more Periscope videos.
Great, that was great help. That's
how they're growing their list using Periscope. They're actually promoting Periscope through Twitter.
Fabulous, fabulous. A couple other questions were about what's going on. We are taping this because people are asking, hey, where do we get this list from? This is being recorded. We post it on the Bowling University YouTube page just shortly after we complete, so you'll have that also. But I want to add another one from us internally here at the BPAA, and again, in a partnership with Customer Connect, because you can tie your Customer Connect directly in to Constant Contact. You can just send your email straight out through the program. You should be using Customer Connect because you can download all your league bowlers' contact information directly from the USBC registration certification stuff that comes to the national office, gets downloaded directly into your Customer Connect software that is provided to you for free in your membership with the BPAA. So you can tie in that directly, and then you need an email service provider, aka Customer Connect, Constant Contact, or if you have another one, but that the API is written so that you can just go straight out through the Customer Connect to tie in directly to the Constant Contact software. So certainly to add just one more way of doing this so we actually can get to 60, we throw that one in there. Let's see here. There's one more here that just came in. If you don't mind, if anybody doesn't mind staying, we've still got just about everybody still here. It's fabulous. It says, which social media formats are imperative? There seem to be so many and don't have time to do them all. So, back to what you said, you kind of ran through them. You didn't kind of list them out. And I know we're going to talk about that a little bit more in some of the future pieces to this series. But is there a format that's more valuable in grabbing that data? Because getting that data from those people and putting it into your email list is important. So is one format better or more valuable than another one?
If you want to reach your open bowlers, you're going to want to use your Facebook business page to do that. If you want to reach reporters in your community about your fundraising event, your maybe you have a happy hour event, or maybe a St. Patrick's Day event, you're going to want to use Twitter in order to do that, but you're also going to want to use your city's hashtag. So for instance, you would just use the hashtag Dallas, hashtag Fort Worth, hashtag Detroit, in order to let the reporters know, while the reporters are looking for trends on Twitter, that you've got something coming up for St. Patrick's Day.
And also on that same note about branding your, or theming, excuse me, theming your emails, part of the something that the social media committee and the marketing committee here at the BPA have put together is we have the themed email templates that go right into the formatting of Constant Contact. They're designed, the boxes, the templates will drop in the images to give you a St. Patrick's Day theme or a Valentine's Day theme or a Mother's Day theme, which just was sent out as a reminder yesterday through the marketing committee, came out for you. If you didn't get those, please contact us here at the office on that. So we have that internally here to help you tie that into your emails so they are themed based on the holiday or event that is coming up. I don't see any more questions at this time, Kim. We're wrapping up to the top of the hour. Went a full hour. Appreciate almost everybody staying to the very, very end. We thank you so much for joining us, Kim, this week. We'll be back next week, as you see, on March 2nd, which is week 2 of our 4 weeks of, they're not consecutive weeks, just know that. Our second week is standout subject lines. And I have to tell you, I'm going to jump in on this one and tell you, I remember sitting in on a live session with Kim and her talking just briefly about it, not even as depth as we're going to go here in the webinar. She talked about it for maybe 10 minutes. I took that 10-minute, 15 minutes that she did in her session and brought it back to here and started using it internally in my emails I send out, and my open rates almost doubled within just the next 2 emails. So certainly encourage you to jump back and join us next week to get those standout subject lines. And that one we will drill a little deeper. This was kind of 30,000 feet, getting you thinking about all the different ways that you can get that database built, where we're actually going to get into a little bit of how-to and what it should look like in next week's standout subject lines next Wednesday, not Thursday, next Wednesday, March 2nd. And since you already registered for this session, you're already registered for all 4 of the sessions, so you don't need to register again, but make sure you tell your coworkers and tell your friends to join us for each of the next 3 sessions. Little typo there. We apologize for that. So we hope you'll join us again next Wednesday. Again, Kim, thank you one last time, and we'll talk to you again next Wednesday.